Welcome to Connect U2 Radio, where community, disability, aged care, and lived experiences come together through meaningful conversations. Our mission is to inform, inspire, and connect people by sharing stories, insights, and practical information that make a difference in everyday life.
Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to untangle one of the absolute most vital, yet honestly most misunderstood parts of the NDIS. Look, if you've ever stared down an NDIS plan, you know it can feel like a total maze. You've got line items, complex budgets, service agreements, and just dozens of different providers to juggle. It's completely overwhelming, and a lot of participants and their families literally don't even know where to start. But you don't have to wander in the dark, because there's a guide for this maze: the Support Coordinator. Today we're going to completely demystify exactly what this role is and how getting the right one can absolutely transform your NDIS experience. So, here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the Support Coordinator role, what they actually do on a day-to-day basis, and crucially, what they cannot do. Then we'll hit the 3 levels of coordination, how to find and engage one, and finally, how to change your coordinator if things just aren't working out.
Okay, let's dive right into Section 1, the Support Coordinator role. So, by NDIS definition, a support coordinator is a funded professional whose whole job is to help you understand and actually use your plan effectively. Think of them as a bridge connecting you to the various disability, community, and mainstream services out there. But here is the absolute most crucial part of their job: building your capacity to manage these supports independently. This is huge. The ultimate goal here isn't to just do everything for you forever and create this total dependency. No way. The real goal is capacity building. It's about teaching you the skills and giving you the confidence so that over time, you can manage more of your own supports if that's what you choose to do.
Section 2, what they actually do. Because theory is great, but the practical reality is what really matters.
It's the #1 question we hear all the time. What are they actually doing day to day? Are they just sitting there booking services? Well, the short answer is no. They do so much more than that. A support coordinator's real workload usually breaks down into 4 main buckets. First up, connecting providers. Now, this isn't just handing you a phone book and saying good luck. It's about finding the right provider, someone culturally appropriate, reliable, and just a genuine good fit for your personality. Second, crisis management. This is huge. Often working behind the scenes, coordinators step in during incredibly stressful times. We're talking housing loss, a key support worker suddenly quitting, or maybe a dip in mental health. They become the central hub connecting hospitals, families, and the NDIS to put out those fires. Third, as we mentioned, building independence, teaching you how to negotiate, how to read those budgets, and how to advocate for yourself. And finally, monitoring and review prep. They are out there gathering allied health assessments, incident reports, and progress updates so you have rock-solid evidence for your NDIS plan reviews.
Moving on to Section 3, what they cannot do. Time for a bit of a reality check.
It's so vital we set the right expectations here. While your coordinator is there to guide, assist, build your capacity, and get you connected, there are hard limits to their power. They absolutely cannot approve NDIS funding. They can't magically change your budget. They cannot diagnose disabilities, and they definitely cannot force providers to deliver services. But most importantly, they cannot control your money, and they cannot make decisions for you. Ethical support coordination is built entirely on transparency. You are the boss, period. They're just there to empower you to make informed decisions, not to grab the steering wheel away from you.
Section 4, 3 levels of coordination. Because support coordination isn't just a one-size-fits-all thing.
Depending on your exact situation, there are 3 distinct levels the NDIS might fund. Level 1 is support connection. This is your basic linkage, just helping you understand the plan and make those initial connections. Level 2 is the most common, and that's standard support coordination. This goes quite a bit deeper, putting a mix of supports in place to build your skills and help you live independently. Then we have Level 3, specialist support coordination. This is intense, high-level support from qualified experts meant for folks facing really complex barriers or high-risk environments. Oh, and it's also worth a quick mention that there are psychosocial recovery coaches too. They function a lot like coordinators, but they're specifically geared toward helping people with psychosocial disabilities manage complex daily challenges.
All right, Section 5, finding and engaging one. How do you actually get one of these guides on your team?
Let's walk through how this engagement process actually works in the real world. Step 1, it all starts with you. You choose your preferred coordinator. You can use the online NDIS provider finder, ask your local area coordinator, or honestly just rely on good old-fashioned community word of mouth. Step 2, once you pick someone, the NDIA shoots them a request for service through the portal. Step 3 is a really critical window. The provider has exactly 4 business days to accept or decline that request. If they ghost you and don't action it, the request moves on to someone else, so you aren't left stranded. Step 4, once they accept, boom, the relationship is active. You'll set up your first face-to-face meeting. Just remember, they are going to need a copy of your NDIS plan and a really clear understanding of your personal goals so you two can build a solid service agreement.
Now, there is one super important technical rule to keep in mind when you're shopping around for a coordinator. If your NDIS funding is NDIA managed, you are strictly required to use a registered provider. These are folks audited by the NDIS Quality and Safeguards Commission. However, if you self-manage or plan manage your funding, you've got the flexibility to use an unregistered support coordinator if you want to.
And finally, Section 6, changing your support coordinator. What happens when your guide is, well, leading you in circles?
Look, not all support coordination is created equal. There is a deeply human element to this job. A good guide returns your calls, builds genuine trust, respects your choices, and above all, sees you as a human being. A bad guide? They treat you like a file number. They might try to funnel you into their own internal business providers instead of giving you real choices. Or worst of all, they completely pull a disappearing act the second a crisis hits.
So you've got to watch out for the red flags. If your coordinator never bothers to explain your budgets, takes 3 weeks to reply to a basic email, avoids the tough conversations, or intentionally makes you feel totally dependent on them, you need to remember 2 words: choice and control. You are allowed to change your support coordinator at any time. You just have to follow the notice period laid out in your service agreement.
If you do pull the trigger and decide to switch, here is exactly how that transition plays out. First, you serve your notice period. Second, your current coordinator must prepare a comprehensive handover report. This is an absolute mandatory professional requirement. It details your goals, the barriers you're facing, and your future needs, so your next coordinator isn't starting from scratch. Third, the old coordinator ends their service bookings in the portal. And finally, you sign a fresh agreement with your new coordinator. Any coordinator worth their salt will actively support this transition to make sure it's smooth and totally stress-free for you.
As we wrap up today's explainer, I really want to leave you with this core philosophy, straight from the source material. The real goal is capacity building, helping people gain the confidence and skills to eventually manage more of their supports independently. That's the golden rule right there. A truly great support coordinator works tirelessly to make themselves less and less necessary over time. They take you from confusion to clarity, and from dependence straight to independence.
So I'll leave you with this one final question to think about. Is your current support coordinator just helping you barely survive the NDIS system, or are they actively empowering you to thrive within it? Because at the end of the day, behind every single NDIS plan is a real person just trying to build a better life. Getting the right support around you matters so much. Don't ever settle for someone who just treats you like a number. Advocate for yourself, know your rights, and make sure you have the absolute best support possible to hit your goals. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep advocating, and keep striving for the support you deserve.